Today, we're going to decode the psychology of having a small social circle. We're going to explore why, for so many people, having few or even no friends isn't some kind of social failure. It's actually a characteristic of a really unique and powerful mind.
So, let me ask you something. Have you ever gone a pretty long time without hanging out with friends and you felt completely okay with it? Maybe even happy? Well, if that's you, you are definitely not alone, and there's a fascinating reason why.
You know, society has this knee-jerk reaction to solitude. It tends to slap on labels like lonely, antisocial, or even that you're failing. But psychology, it offers a totally different perspective. What looks like loneliness might actually be you having high standards. What's seen as antisocial could really just be sensitivity. And that idea of failing? Nope. It might just be the mark of a deep thinker.
So let's just get one thing straight right from the get-go. Having a small social circle is not a personality flaw. It doesn't mean you're broken. Far from it. It's often a direct reflection of how your brain is quite literally wired to handle connection and energy.
Okay, so let's really dive into this. We're going to break down 5 core psychological reasons that explain why your mind might just work this way.
First up, it all comes down to your standard for connection. This really gets to the heart of it, right? It's a focus on quality over quantity. For some people, the goal isn't just, endless small talk or dealing with personalities that just drain your battery. It's about forming those deep, real connections, those truly meaningful bonds.
So think of it this way. You're not actually avoiding relationships. You're avoiding the shallow, surface-level stuff. You're holding out for something authentic, for that meaningful connection that's so much harder to find.
All right, let's build on that with reason number 2.
This brings us to a really key concept: high social sensitivity. Essentially, what this means is your nervous system gets drained way more easily by social interaction. It's not a choice. It's a biological trait that means you absolutely need solitude to recover.
And you can really picture it like this. Social interaction can literally drain your brain's battery. So that need for alone time, it has nothing to do with disliking people. It's a biological requirement. You just have to recharge.
All right, on to our third reason, and this one's all about dependency.
You know how so many people are constantly looking for validation from others? Well, our third reason is the exact opposite. It's called low social dependency. And it's this amazing ability to find comfort, entertainment, and a sense of self-worth from within, instead of needing a crowd to give it to you.
And honestly, this is a genuine superpower. It means you are incredibly self-sufficient. You can entertain yourself, you can work through your own problems, and you can build a rich, fulfilling world entirely on your own terms. Let's move on to number 4. Now, this one is often rooted deep in our past experiences. A lot of times, people with smaller social circles have had past experiences, maybe a betrayal or just being let down, that have created what's called a high trust threshold. It's like your brain has just learned, hey, we got to be more protective about who we let in. Now, let's be super clear. This doesn't mean you're incapable of making friends. Not at all. It just means your brain is being wisely cautious. It's being careful about who gets the key to your inner world, which is actually a very smart protective mechanism. And that leads us perfectly into our 5th and final reason, which is all about what's going on inside.
People who spend a good amount of time alone often end up cultivating a profoundly deeper inner world. And this internal space is characterized by a richer imagination, a sharper intuition, and a much, much deeper level of self-awareness. You simply think more, you observe more, and you feel things more intensely.
And when you've got that kind of depth going on, it totally makes sense why casual hangouts can feel, well, pretty shallow. The small talk on the outside just can't compete with the complex, vibrant world that exists inside your own mind. So let's pull all this together and reframe the whole idea. It really is about the power of your perspective. This isn't about an absence of people, it's about the presence of depth.
There's this quote that captures this idea perfectly. Sometimes the people with the strongest minds simply walk alone for a while. It completely reframes solitude not as weakness, but as a period of real strength.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about. What if your time alone isn't an absence of connection at all? What if it's actually the presence of something far more profound? Your own deep, powerful, and self-sufficient mind.